Hello, everyone. We are actually
Wait, me
starting
to
on
just walk into a stream.
yes, something like that. We just got on the buns just a little early to finish off a couple hunt targets, and now we are heading towards our job quests, which are going to take
Mhm.
a couple of weeks to get through because they're long and they have us running everywhere.
And we've got like 6 of them to do.
Something like that, yeah. So hopefully we'll get at least 2 to 3 of them done tonight. Maybe, if we're lucky. Something like that. As I try and steer and pull up my Twitch comments on my phone at the same time. Easier said than done. Ah, there we go. Hello, Octi. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Miss Melody.
Yeah, we've got Foxfire sitting in chat. We've been actually kind of streaming out via Discord because Tay, unfortunately, does not have a machine and wants to play and can't play. So he's been kind of hanging with us as we play, which is just fine. Hello, Ripley. It's good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Today, guild-wise, we basically considered it kind of a light day. We mostly just ran DR and did some maintenance stuff because Talon, of course, has no hard drive at the moment, so they have no machine they can play on. And Action, who's our other compadre in crime for going after some more difficult stuff, is hanging out with the in-laws because it'd be Mother's Day.
And for once, he can actually go hang out with the in-laws.
Yep, because he and his family have been vaccinated. So he's actually spending the night with them, which is just fine. He's probably really happy to get out of the house and
Yeah.
let the in-laws take care of little Leo for a little bit. Apparently, yesterday he went over to his mom's and took Leo with him, and he baked everyone a big chocolate cake, and Leo did the 1-year-old nar with hands, mar 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 mar. He's good.
Yes. Yes.
Totally destroyed
Rite of
the thing.
passage.
Yes.
Uh, there is a photo of Faye one with me doing exactly the same thing.
Oh, I'm sure. Blackmail arterial abounds.
Oh yes.
So in the meantime, we are slowly making our way to the South Shroud so we can get our quest, which is going to run us everywhere. I really hope everyone's day has been a good day.
Yes, indeed. I hope everyone's had a good one.
Indeed. Yeah, most of this week I've been spending actually not in FF but on Nier Autonoma. I got to
It
the
sounds like you're getting close.
well, I got to the final neutral ending. I won't say it was bad, considering that as far as I'm concerned, all endings are bad in the game.
Oh, there may be something to say there.
There is technically a good ending, but it's good only in relationship to all the other endings. But it does answer a few questions. I purposely, excuse me,
Excuse you.
went for the neutral ending. That way I could continue my playthrough because there's a few quests that I want to polish up, but I need the levels to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that level is something I couldn't get initially. Because it's like, yeah, I'm supposed to face an 85 boss, and I'm what? 60? Yeah,
Oh,
this
dear.
is not gonna work. But it is a very good game, and I do actually recommend it. The writing and the characters are very interesting. The world is both really beautiful and utterly depressing at the same time. But the most
Yes,
interesting
that sounds about right.
thing is how accessible the game is. One of the reasons why I didn't get it initially when it came out for PC is that everyone talked about how difficult it was and that it could be almost on a Dark Souls level, and that it was sheer bullet hell, which it kind of is. But if you play it on easy mode, you get access to what they refer to as auto chips, and you can tailor those to how difficult you want the game and how much of the game you want to be automated, which made the game a lot more playable for me because it was asking me for key combinations that would, like, dislocate my little finger.
Yeah.
Which at that point, it's like, why am I playing this game? But it allowed me to tailor it to my skill level, and you can actually go in and out of different skill levels at any point during the game. So if something's too hard, you can back it down and then bring it back up again later. And I could play through the story, which is what I'm actually more interested in. So I do recommend it on that part, and the fact that, yeah, we're seeing more accessibility options, which is just beautiful. Okay, Rena Osana.
Do we want to check the other two? I don't know if they change much.
I don't think they do, but, Kalp? Or Kupcha Kapu? Kappa?
Kupcha Koopa.
Kupcha Koopa, right.
I have served Rhea O since she was a little girl no bigger than me, Kupo. She has matured much since the calamity. Her brother Amrun, on the other hand...
Oh dear.
Yeah, well...
Puckney Pack.
When she was a child, Rhea O had quite a temper. She's a sweet little girl now, but Moogle does not easily forget. Even now, the sound of her voice makes my fur stand on end, Kupo.
Poor guys. Rhea?
Following in his footsteps, Rhea O Senna would send you on a pilgrimage.
Your command of white magic has advanced considerably, Rena, Ladonia. Yes, the time draws near. Let us begin our preparations for the quieting. At its roots, the ritual is no different from the acts of pacifying that you have already performed. The difference lies only in the difficulty of the effort. The Great One possesses a power unfathomable by more immense than the elements that you've communed with so far. Power so immense that a mage might easily be overwhelmed by sheer force of its will. To prevent such a catastrophist's fate, our tradition decrees that a special garb must be donned before performing the ritual.
Oh dear.
I have prepared you these pieces, but I fear they will not avail you in their current state. So it is that I would send you on a journey. I trust you know the story of Tawa Kant. The rare among the Pagil, he left the forest behind to travel the realm, healing the land and its people. As tribute to his wanderlust, after he passed, his ashes were divided among 7 urns, which were in turn carried to the far reaches of the realm. And it is there, in distant lands that the great mages so loved, that his ashes were buried, the monuments erected to his honor. You are to go on a pilgrimage to these sites and receive the blessings of your forebearer. Only then will the garb I've gifted you be imbued with its divine powers. Mind you, you will find that these places are not as welcoming as they might have been in Master Tawa's time. The first site is on the shores of western Laodicea, a place now feared as the Serpent's Tongue, home to a band of vile pirates. The next is to be found in Mordona, in the overgrowth labyrinths of the roots and vines so affectionately known as the Tangle.
Oh god, not the Tangle.
Yes, the Tangle. She is sending us to the Tangle. I do hope Master Atawa's ashes have survived those most oppressive environments. The third site I would have you visit is perhaps the most treacherous location of the lot. Ralbon's Push in northern Thanalan, a stone's throw from the Imperial stronghold. I urge you to exercise extreme caution.
Yeah, like the fact that we technically could go straight from number 2 to number 3, and I don't think we dare.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we can try. Urza's willing.
Yeah, that's nice. Because those should be all high 40s in there.
Yeah, I'm wondering
Maybe
if we should
50s.
just... I'm thinking we should just port this.
Well, certainly to the first place and maybe to the second because, well, Laodicea and back.
Yeah.
That's it. Get out of line of sight and then teleport so she doesn't know we're cheating our way through this.
Right. Urza is such a patient girl. Oh, and you're gonna hate where this quest goes.
Where is it again? Serpent's Tongue. Which... oh no, it's in there.
Yeah, it's in there with the constant spawning fate and
Which
all
is currently up.
Of course it's up. It is always up. If it isn't up, it'll be up in 2 minutes.
At most. I don't mind the place so much, but I've gotten used to it at over level.
And we are decidedly under level.
Or at least at level. These guys are 44s.
In this section,
Yes.
I think there's a 46.
Yep. Only gets worse from here.
And here's the 48s.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to take care of a sea wasp or two.
At least. And it's not like we can avoid the fate by not sinking to it because, well, yeah, we don't need to sink. Okay, peeps, Marshmallow, best behavior, please. And actually...
Have some
Okay.
facial dreams. Fortunately, it's like right in the corner over here.
Yeah, epitaph to philosophy. The gravestone is inscribed with an epitaph paying tribute to the life and deeds of the great mage Atoa Kant.
And we need to pray.
Oh no, the fate failed!
Yay, the fate failed. And that is the first of our relic gear.
Yeah, should we put this on?
Yes.
Healer's gloves.
Let's see. The next one. I don't think we have the port in Mordona yet. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I was wondering.
So we're gonna have to port to Dragonhead and chomp on down.
I was thinking, Black Shroud.
Not Camp Dragonhead is actually slightly
Oh, yeah,
closer.
Corthus. Okay, right, yes. Well, yeah, it's the zone I was figuring on poking our heads through.
Oh, I agree. It's good to be challenged and have a challenging system. I have no qualms on that. It's just when it requires me to dislocate my fingers to do it.
Yeah,
No.
That's not challenge.
That's a big nope. It's also a dexterity push that I'm not exactly entirely good at, so
I know that feeling.
I tend to like to be more mentally challenged than physically challenged. But at the same time, I do occasionally want the physical challenge. At some point, when I finally do start a true new game in Nier Automata, I might do it in normal mode because I have a better grasp of how to work the system. Now that I've played it through once on easy with some of the auto chips, not all of the auto chips. But it takes me a little while to really get a feel and the muscle memory, and even then, I am glad they are very generous with save points, because I can't tell you how many times I have accidentally killed an NPC I needed to talk with.
Oh dear.
It's like, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to kill you, dude. Come back, dude. I need you. I still need to vendor something from you. Okay, reload the game.
Yeah. I mean, I think I stuck with normal for all of the 2 Kingdom Hearts games, and there were a few places, and especially the first one, really, where I had a heck of a time getting through.
Yeah, I am amazed you did as well with Kingdom Hearts.
You didn't see some of the struggles.
With that said, this plays actually somewhat similar to Kingdom Hearts.
It kind of looked it.
Woohoo!
Yeah, mapping the realm. Yeah, we definitely did not have the crystal here.
I know when I watched a playthrough of Nier, there was a point where it occurred to me, that sketch came up. I can't remember which comedy show it was from. And it was, are we the baddies?
Oh, it's a Fry and Laurie. Yes, that is one of the classics. Maybe we're the baddies. And there's all sorts of level 45 side quests.
We're going to ignore them right now.
Wait for the main quest to take us here, because the main
Yes.
quest will.
We are about to actually be pointed to here. We're actually getting in here like 1 or 2 quests early, so.
Yeah.
And now to dodge Nixes.
Yeah.
And more.
This is going to be our hobby for the next 10 levels.
Speaking of the bad boys. Can I sneak around him? Oh my god, I think I snuck through.
Yeah.
This is the real problem.
Yeah. Morbals.
And my puppies.
Well, that's the fate. There are 41s. Because it's a 44 fate.
Yeah, but we're not... Yeah, we're gonna have to take them out. Or at least the Morble.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he is 44. The good news is we have Asuna and we know how to use it.
Eep, I'm getting out of that.
You do this.
Yeah, one of the tricks with the Morbles, especially when you have Chocobos, is to try and get them to where the Chocobos are behind the Morbles, because the Chocobos don't dodge.
No, they don't.
But if you get behind the Chocobos behind the Morble, you can kind of control where he points his olfactory unit.
Oh, okay, well, now I know when Arrow 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm one level ahead of you, and I can see the different thought icons. Because Arrow 2 came in at 6.
This is a whole pile of puppies.
And not the cute and fluffy kind.
No, they are not. This is where I really wish I had Holy.
Give it time.
Oh god, the Morble's back.
Of course he is. Yeah. Well, there's the fate.
And there's our
Epitaph
stone.
to discovery. Yeah, no. Same thing. Come on. Your garb is now blessed with the power of Aetoa Kant.
And healer boots.
Healy boots. Ow, my heels.
Hush you, get on the bow.
Good. Now I don't have to stand. Ow.
So, do we dare?
Maybe? What
Where's
level
this
are
thing
these guys? 46. Not too bad.
46 to 48, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Right, Urza? Right like the wind? This is not like the wind. Yes, we're going through the middle of a Gurlian base. What's it to you?
Yeah, the salamanders They are not joking around. Not as bad as the Nixes, though. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Bye, Mr. Garlean Base!
Yeah. Now we just have to deal with all the high-level stuff on the other side of the zone boundary. And here's Robon's push.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are 49s.
Fortunately, Gomorrah is not up.
Yeah, this side of the boundary is actually more dangerous.
Be very quiet, Urza. We can do this. Ark! Oh no. Oh no, that's a 49. Oh!
Yes. So far, just one. All is fine.
Oh, look, it's Flame Sergeant Delvag.
Who thankfully is not aggressive.
This is probably one of the creepiest models in game, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
8 heads!
Yeah,
Release
that's
masks.
pretty darn creepy.
Yeah. And they reuse that model later. Okay, this little pocket is mostly for this, or at least partially for this.
Yeah.
There's a mining node out here.
Whee!
And healer's coolants.
Showing off that leg!
Mm-hmm.
And back to Camp Tranquil. How do we want to do this?
Should we just port it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about just porting it! We've got a lot.
Instead of trying to weave through all those 49s? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just don't tell her we kind of cheated the pilgrimage. What she doesn't know won't hurt us.
Oh, we did go far. Via the Aether Stream.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Blinky!
Okay, Rhea.
Your safe return heartens me, Rena Ladonia. I can feel newfound power emanating from the garb I gave you. I trust that this stage of your pilgrimage was a success. Yeah, we'll call it that. A success.
We didn't die.
Now that you have traveled the realm and seen the lands of Master Aetawa did, I would share with you the rest of his tale. The histories claim that Aetawa Kant disappeared in the mountains of Omagoro in the Cobalt Motherland. This is not untrue, but there's more to the story. When the great mage did not return from his journey, one of his most devoted students went in search of him. As the legends have it, the young mage single-handedly fought off venerable legions of kobolds while scouring the mountains for any sign of his master. Sadly, it was as all feared. Though the young mage eventually found his master, the great Aetawa Kant lived no more. As if the death of a man were not enough, Theris, Aitawakant's greatest staff, a mighty relic passed down by his ancestors, was lost to the shadows. Undeterred, the young mage fought off the kobold hordes to carry his master's remains back to the surface. A ceremony was held in honor of Master Aitawa's life and deeds, and the urns housing his ashes were carried off to the far reaches frontiers for which he was so fond of in his living years. All the urns, that is, except for one. Yes, though the precise location is only known to a few, Master Aitawa also rests close to home. Here, in the Twelveswood, not far from Proud Creek, you will find yet another monument to the great mage. Take with you this habit, and pay your respects as before. If you keep pure intentions in your heart and in your mind, then the healer's robe shall be your reward. So, we have 1, 2, 3, with a 4th item incoming.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 5 items. I'm trying to remember where the head comes from.
Amy?
Okay, off to Proud Creek. Do we want Port or ride this?
I was thinking ride, considering the distance.
Yeah, Proud Creek is in North Shroud, so that's at least 2 zones. But it's not a bad ride, so.
Nope.
Zoom! Not so much a spoiler, but his greatest disciple actually comes up in a future White Mage quest line. Not him himself, but like his granddaughter.
Ah.
Which I thought was a nice carryover.
It is always nice to see a story that is not just legends locked into the past.
Yeah, they were fairly good about that here.
They're also very good about keeping legit to their references, and when they aren't, they at least try and lampshade it.
Mm-hmm.
Without further consultation. It's like, the world book for this must be massive at this point.
Yeah. And I'm still wondering just how much of, the storyline and such they had figured out during 1.0. A fair chunk of it they had definitely figured out during 2.
Yeah, I think most of the world building was done in 2, because talking with people, until Yoshi P took over the development, the storyline was almost non-existent.
Ooh.
And they had the whole thing with the echo going, but apparently it was going off so often you were effectively drug tripping.
Oh dear.
From all reports. I, of course, have never played through it.
No.
There are rumors of a private server floating around, but I have never gone looking for it, and a lot of people are like, from what I understand, the private server basically exists as a, if you really want to know what happened before, I guess you can have this, go play the actual game, it's much better.
Yeah.
It's like, ow! They were trying to do some new things, and there were some interesting ideas in 1.0. But there's a reason why it face planted so hard, and it's a good lesson to remember for all parties concerned. With that said, the guy who originally directed 1.0, who was the head, he is still at Square Enix and still involved in FF14.
Managing to not get fired over that is actually fairly impressive.
He got demoted to the level design team head.
Okay.
And we just went past it out of sure. I'm sorry. And he's been in that position ever since. So I think what basically got happened is he got promoted past his capabilities.
Competency level, yeah.
So they demoted him back to his competency level, and the fact that we now have such a good game is actually in part due to him being at his competency level, as far as we can tell looking in from the outside. There's probably a lot more that happened internally that we don't know about, that we'll never know about. We can only make suppositions. Hello, Mr. Bear!
You're going the wrong way.
No, I'm going the right way. I know where I'm going.
Proud Creek? Oh, okay, it's in that section.
Yeah. And I'm purposely going around a lot of the combat stuff.
Yeah.
To the shorter route for... It's a longer route, but shorter in more dangerous territory. If that makes sense.
I've gotten so used to being high level going through here.
I know. And I am going to have some more food.
If only more organizations didn't view putting someone back into their competency level after
yeah,
as some sort of shame.
Well, to be honest, there were some decisions made in the game that severely limited its chances of success that were made outside of the development team. And
which, unfortunately, Square Enix was developing a habit of at that point, and I think 1.0 really woke them up to what they were doing.
Yeah, because they stopped doing that, and suddenly a lot of their games got a lot better. They may have not been hits going out the gate, but they were at least good games that turned a profit, if that makes sense.
Oh, look. More cards. More headless guards.
Yeah.
Where's
So
their
I
motorcycle helmets?
I think it is amazing that Square Enix actually took a look at what happened and did some soul searching as a company. Instead of just writing it off and continuing doing what they have been doing.
And acting like EA.
Yeah. They did not
Which they were getting kind of close to doing. The grave has been defiled and its contents appear to have been stolen.
That is not good.
The power of Aetoa Kant has been lost here. Return to Camp Tranquil and seek counsel from Rhea O. Senna.
It's one of the reasons why I continue to trust Square Enix, is they really did learn that lesson.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're starting to unlearn it again with apparently the recent Avengers.
Oh dear.
That they let go, which would have been a much more interesting game, except they locked everything behind gated time content and loot boxes.
No! Oh dear.
And this is why there was a lot of push for it initially. There was an entire development set up for
I think so.
lifespan of the game, and that's all been practically pulled.
Yeah.
And it was done by Crystal Dynamics.
Okay. Wow, that development studio is still around.
Yes, Crystal Dynamics is still around.
There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, Eric Elliott used to work for them.
Yeah, that's the reason why I interviewed.
They actually got bought out by Square Enix quite some time ago.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'd forgotten about that.
Fortunately, they have had some good, rather newish hits. The biggest one being, of course, the reimagining of Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
which was really well received.
Yeah, I think we have that on Steam. We need to get around to trying it.
Yeah, I think I have it on Steam. It's just I've been kind of sucked into other things.
Yes.
I have
It's one of
heard
those where
very
we
good
wish we had a
things
good
about
way
it.
of hooking Steam up to the big TV.
Yeah. There is apparently some sort of Steam box you can buy, but that's like yet another thing.
Yeah, no.
And of course, Twitch itself is not supported on Roku or Apple.
Yeah.
Roku, it used to have support for Roku, and then the support for it got pulled. There is apparently a way to get around it by using a computer and a web app
Yeah.
to go through, but that's like we have to do.
And I think you have to do more or less the same thing to get around the problems with trying to, like, stream something on the Switch.
Yeah, which is annoying.
Yeah. That said, I need to get back to Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh, of which, I don't know if folks have heard, but Discord is apparently coming to the PSN network.
PlayStation Network?
Yes.
I did hear that.
They're looking
Sony took it.
at integration.
Okay.
Sony took a stake in Discord as part of in order to head off
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Well, just as long as they don't get too much of a stake in it.
Yeah.
If there's anyone who can do worse by Discord than Microsoft, it'd be Sony.
Yeah,
This
unfortunately.
is true.
A lot of people rah Sony. I'm very ambivalent because they've done some really kind of. The sad thing is Sony's hardware is usually really solid.
Yeah.
Every piece of Sony equipment we have got has been wonderful. It's all the software and the server-side development that's just been... Especially after that debacle with the Play Online, which resulted in millions of users' accounts getting hacked and credit card numbers swiped because they didn't have basic encryption on their database tables.
Yeah.
It was all just hanging out in the open. If you could get into the database, you could see everything. It was like... and they were fined for it. People ragged at them hard. They kind of looked at it and said, oh, we'll just pay the fine and keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
It was cheaper.
Because it was cheaper.
And it cost a class.
To be fair, Sony has always been a hardware company first.
Yeah.
Hmm?
It cost one of your fellow CalArters her movie project.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Lauren Faust was working on Medusa.
Yeah,
And the exec got canned because all those emails got released, and then a new exec came in to the project.
yeah, she is really bitter about that, let me tell you.
Yeah.
She doesn't talk about it. She can't because of NDA, but you can totally tell in her voice and her eyes anytime the subject comes up. She is just super bitter.
I don't blame her.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hand back the new white mage's robe. A new habit for a white mage, or a habit for a new white mage.
The urn holding Master A. Tao's ashes was stolen? This cannot be. Grave robbery is a damnable enough crime in itself, but what manner of scoundrel would dare defile the resting place of a Pagel? Rest assured that I will investigate this heinous crime immediately. In the meantime, your pilgrimage demands you travel one last destination. This final leg of your journey will take you to the very place that Master A. Tawa drew his breath. Old Gomoro, the homeland of the kobolds in outer Lanosea. It is there in plain sight that the kobold dig that the students of whom I spoke did erect a monument to his fallen master. Right.
And this will be for the hat.
Yeah, we're going to get out of sight of her and, yeah. We're totally, using the teleport. Hello, Live Swing!
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about the differences between, Sony hardware and Sony company and software policies.
Yeah.
And the fact that Sony now owns a small stake in Discord, and they did that to head off the Microsoft talks.
Marshmallow, stop it.
And how the fact that the Sony hack from a few years ago was what ended up killing Lauren Faust's Medusa film project.
Yeah.
And while she can't talk about it, if you ever bring it up around her, her eyes and her voice tell much. She is not happy about it. In other news, I'm also not sure what to make of Epic Games buying ArtStation.
Yeah.
While in and of itself, Epic's recent moves have been kind of glare-inducing. The whole bitter bull between Epic and Apple is like, I don't know who to root for here because they're both being idiots.
Well, I don't know if you heard.
Oh, it goes different direction.
Yes. You want the other ramp up. But EU and EU Commission did give advice. You know, this isn't any sort of final ruling yet, but they did give advice towards one of that Apple is being monopolistic in their App Store.
This is my surprised face. At the same time, to be fair to Apple, they're one of the ones that I trust their security the most.
Yes. Yeah, that part, yeah, certainly.
And part of the thing of going through their app store is they do a really, really hairy eyeball check on all coding going through.
Well, at least in theory, of course, things get through, and some of that is just anyone could reasonably go through.
Yeah. Actually, that's their aggro dance. For some reason,
Yeah.
Peeps is still in aggro mode. Gravestone and tribute.
I'm gonna peck you, peck you, gonna peck you.
I want to peck you.
Healer's Circlet. Let me guess, something else you can't see.
I don't know. Let's find out.
No, it does display.
I can't tell under my bangs.
Now take a good look at me.
Right. Nice. Yeah, it is there. I can kind of sort of see it, but it bangs. I have all the bangs.
Yes, you do.
And we're just gonna port back to Camp Tranquil.
Yeah.
Someone just rolled through on a rolling tankard.
Yes. The best. It is my honor to pick you today.
But yeah, I've not been pleased necessarily with Epic and their current policies, which started up about the time that Tencent bought a stake in them. So there's that whole bugaboo. Welcome back, Rena, Ladonia. The journey was not an easy one, I trust, and yet I knew that Master A Tower would guide you safely back to me. Yeah. Let's go with that.
Yes.
In your travels, you have received the blessing of our great ancestor, and yet there was not a sole reason I sent you on this pilgrimage. Perhaps you have sensed something in my intentions during your trip. Yeah. And as she who would inherit Master A Tao's legacy, I wanted you two to truly walk in his footsteps. Yeah, we'll go with that. We walked it the entire way.
Marshmallow can't watch.
Yeah, apparently. To see the realm in both its beauty and its suffering with your own eyes, as the great mage did so long ago. And yet it is strange, no? A pirate's lair, a rampart jungle, mountains of fire, all of the hostile environments in which you journeyed, the single grave despoiled was that which rests here in our forest home. I suspect this was the handiwork of no witless grave robber, but rather someone who knew all too well the value of that which was buried within. We must uncover the truth behind this crime and return Master A Tao's ashes to their rightful resting place, and quickly. Are you with me, yes?
No, only in 5 levels. Or no, it is immediate.
Dun dun dun! Holy!
I suppose the weapon is what comes in at 50?
No.
No, it is the...
It is the chest at 50. We get holy as the next step.
Yeah, I see that. Rhea, yearn for the urn. Rhea Osena would have you recover the stolen ashes of A Toa Kant.
Grave robbery is a loathsome enough crime on its own right, but to defile the final resting place of a Pagel! Such an act could only be performed by the lowest of bandit scum. Though I would like to think that the elements have already delivered due justice to the villain, we must not take chances in allowing an escape. Whilst you were away, I put my best Moogle on the hunt, searching for any sign of the culprit or the stolen remains. I dare say he should have a clue or two for us by now.
You'll note that Kupcha and Pukni are still here, so they aren't her best Moogle.
At least he better if he values that little ball on his head. Suffice to say, though through many Forestborn think the Moogles as blessed, my own personal experience has found them to be more touched than anything.
Yes, sadly.
And she...
Okay, maybe it is Kupcha Koopa.
Yeah. Hello, Kupcha.
Oh, mistress, you shouldn't say such hurtful things. It's most unbecoming of a seed seer, Kupo. But fine, don't listen to me. Why, I told her just the other day that this is why she remains, say, unspoken for. She might not react to that phrasing at present, but her ire is indeed fierce, Kupo. Of course, you have not come to discuss my mistress's temper, but the grave robbery, a most unforgivable act of villainy, if I do say so myself, which I believe I just did, Kupo. I am pleased to say, and you will be pleased to hear, that the culprit did not escape Moogle eyes, Kupo. Oh, my eyes he did escape. My associate, Pukno Puki, however, claims to have seen a band of ruffians skulking off in the direction of Red Belly Hive with various and sundry stolen goods in tow, among them a rather conspicuously elaborate urn, Kupo. I do not know what the Red Bellies are up to, but surely it can be nothing good. Please, Ladonia, Rena, go quickly. If the urn is lost, I fear Reo's ire will be the least of my worries, Kupo.
Yeah, the 45 quests are long and take you everywhere.
Yeah. Just in case you hadn't seen the world yet, here.
They're taking us into zones we haven't been into yet. I am just very grateful that, well, this is not our first playthrough. Our first playthrough trying to do these quests was, interesting, to say the least.
So is this your 9S playthrough or your 2A? And there's Pukno Puki. Those thieving crooks! Those crooked thieves! Defiling the resting place of a Padgel? Why, no amount of thrashings, lashings, and bashings would suffice. Kupopo? Why, if it isn't the lovely white mage Kupcha and Koopa spoke of, and not a moment too soon. Why, I was just about to swoop in and give them their comeuppance myself. Now that you're here, however, I believe I'll just sit back and enjoy the show, Kupo. Those vile red bellies tossed the urn into some ramshackle wagon, most ignoble fate for a Pajali legend, I do declare, and carted it northwise towards their hive. You will retrieve it safe and sound, won't you, Kupo? I'm glad there's two of us for this.
Yeah. Well, fortunately the guys here are a little on the low-level side, but yeah. And it doesn't go into the hive itself, which is currently going.
Oh, thank goodness. Ah, yeah, out here. This is a lot better.
Yeah, this
Overloaded Dwayne. Oh. Work? Is it over?
You just had to bail on us, didn't you, Marshmallow?
He had more important business.
And back to Camp Tranquil.
Again. Keep going back to Camp Tranquil until we get it right.
Something like that. Do. Yeah, one of the things I've been doing is slowly trying to learn the Unreal Engine And I'm seriously debating, because of Epic's recent policies, whether I want to switch to Unity again or not. Even though there's a lot of interesting things happening with the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
So,
Toa Kant's ashes. The final remains of the wandering power of Toa Kant.
oh, thank you, Rena, Ladonia. The remains of our exalted forebear hauled away by brigands like a sack of loot. Is this what our land has come to? There could be no doubt. It is the Great One's fury that brings such chaos to the Twelveswood. The situation is grave indeed. I shall have our wood whalers deal with the red bellies. We have had more important matters before us. And yet, I fear we have hit another snag. Though the urn has been safely recovered, the harsh treatment it suffered at the hands of the bandits has taken its toll. Uprooted from its proper resting place, the power of Toa Kant, once housed within, has grown dim. I shall return the urn to its rightful home. Perhaps over time it will return to its former state. And yet I fear time is not a luxury we have. We must employ other means to enchant the ritual garb. I will consult with my brother to see what knowledge he might have to offer. In the meantime, I would ask that you master your newfound skills as best you can. There's no telling when their Great One's fury might grow too strong to contain. We must ever be prepared. Holy! Yes! One of the best.
Fully AoE, Batman.
Yeah, live. I've been playing back and forth with Unreal 4 for ages now, because they actually have a version that's the full version that you can actually learn with. Unfortunately, I suffer from the problem of I learned something, and then by the time I get back to it to poke at something else, I've forgotten what I learned.
Well,
It just doesn't stick in my
what's
head.
the next job to tackle?
Well, I was thinking about heading to Old Daw because we have 2 different jobs there. You have
Okay.
Black Mage, I have
Yep.
Gladiator.
Okay.
The question is we're not going to get through one of them entirely tonight.
No, we'll
we-
just start one.
Yeah, we'll start one, and then who do we want to start with? Do we want to start with Black Mage, or do we want to start with Paladin?
Yeah, that was kind of the question.
Do you guys watching have any preference? Now's the time to speak it. One of the things about the old, before Unreal 4 came out, one of the problems I had with the Unreal Engine is it didn't matter what game it was, even just the working environment, it would make me incredibly seasick within 5 minutes. I'm not sure if it was camera, I'm not sure if it was the virtual space or how they were handling refresh, but I literally could not play, and still cannot play, any game made with Unreal 3 or Unreal 2. Unreal 1 was so long ago that I was young enough that it wasn't an issue. This is something that has gotten worse as time has gone on. But Unreal 4, if it's in third-person mode, I have no issues with. It's why I don't tend to play first-person shooters, is they just make me incredibly motion sick, incredibly quick. And that's just not fun. But and the things I've been seeing there coming out of Unreal 5 are just flabbergasting. It'll be interesting to see what Forspoken plays like, which is a group that was originally building the Luminous engine here for 14 and also for FF15. But they spun off and are now working purely in Unreal, and they're doing their own game, and they previewed it with the big PS5 rollout, and everyone was just flabbergasted. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I'm happy the team and group was spun off so that it could develop its own thing and become their own thing instead of just being we work on this one engine that only one game really uses anymore, and then move forward from there. We'll have to see. As it is, the Luminous engine that runs the FF14, that's actually going to be around for a while. They're doing some base tweaks to the engine for Endwalkers to try and make the engine itself be a lot more viable for many years to come. Knock on wood. At least that's what the team is claiming. Let's see how it pans out. I hope it pans out, because trying to rewrite this into another engine would just be nightmare-inducing.
Yeah, yes.
Because this game is just so huge now. Well, I guess we'll do Pally first.
Okay.
And we'll only probably get halfway through the Pally, mate.
If that far. We've got like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll at least get the intro done and all of that, but I don't know that we'll even hit the halfway mark.
We shall see. We shall see. Why'd I go to the Pugilist camp? I'm sorry, guys. That was
You're doing well tonight.
My bunny squeaks. She is not the brightest bulb in the lantern shop. Oh, right. I need to talk to Jinlins.
Yes! Silly Bun Bun.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to still bleach the Heavensward Paladin quest from my brain. They generally do a really good job with the job and class quests, but the Paladin quest for Heavensward is... I don't know if we actually want to air that. Hey, Jinlins.
Let me...
Yeah, live streaming, it is that bad. Oh my gosh. It starts off decent, and then, like, the final big climactic is a whole ball of WTF.
Yeah.
No!
And the general plotline is not bad, though I have to say it's not their best writing either.
No.
Poisoned Hearts. Jinlins wishes to assign you your most daunting trial yet. Welcome, friend. I have important news for you. In my search for the traitor, I have been looking through old records and discovered something chilling. Around the time the traitor Solkazgil was named captain, several famed soldiers sultans deaths, but strangely, our records do not say how they died. Curious, I begged the favor of an old friend and received permission to inspect medical records kept by Frondale's frontistry. I discovered that the soldiers died in various ways, some in combat, some suddenly at night in the barracks, but in nearly every case there were signs that poison had played a role in their demise. Yes, poison. Carefully, invisibly administered. The more I read, the more I saw the dark hand of death's embrace at work. Assassins in the pay and service of the Monitrons. A society so secretive that few believe it truly exists. But no matter how skilled and devious the assassins, they should not have been able to kill so many of the Sultan's sworn elite without being discovered. Not, that is, without help from within our own ranks. So I asked myself what the most to gain from their deaths. One by one, the former captain, his trusted aides, the most capable of the Sultan's Sworn who might become future commanders, all of them slain by an invisible hand. And with their deaths, the way was open for Solkazgul to become the Sultan Sworn's youngest captain in a century. The Monitress were plotting to kill the best and bravest of the Sultan Sworn, to purge its ranks of greatness, and enervate it so it could no longer carry out its duty to serve as sword and shield of the Sultanate. Which begs the question, how did Solkazgul remain captain for 30 long years? How did he avoid the poisoner's kiss when men better than him had succumbed? There can only be one explanation. He was the Monitress Catspaw, the turncloak in our midst. Needless to say, I am more determined to track him down than ever before. While I continue my investigation, I have a trial for you. I want you to seek the gallant armor, the legendary raiments worn by the generations of the finest soldiers of the Sultan Sworn. In accordance with Sultan Sworn tradition, the set that would be yours has been scattered across southern Thanalan. Each piece has been locked within a coffer, which will be guarded by 2 men. You must best the Sultan's Horn themselves if you are to claim their armor.
Right then.
It's a quest, but someone has to do it.
Yeah. The thing is the whole thing about the secretive that no one really exists is everyone knows the Monitress really exist.
It's not the Monitrists that he's talking about being the secret. It's their hidden assassins. The Death's Hand.
Everyone knows the Monitress exists.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Lolo Rito.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my problem with learning the engine is I'm an artist. I can kind of sort of hack program, but it's basically hack coding, and I freely admit it. And trying to put something together in that engine which is so complex, and it's a complex from the get-go. There's no way to boil it down to here's some basic functions to start with. No. It's open up the engine and get the hex wrench out. You hopping on?
Oh, sorry.
I'm totally not going to slow boat it there. Not when the entrance to Southern Thanalan is right here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd love to work with someone who has a little more programming skills, but yeah, I'm pretty much on my own, so I basically pull it out, poke at it occasionally, and then immediately forget what I'd learned. Yeah, I'm hireable by the game industry. Really, I am. Okay, where are we going? Oh dear. No, let's go the other way first. We'll do this clockwise. Counterclockwise is going to be a pain in the butt.
This one is not giving them to you in a specific.
No, there's no specific order to it, but there is a order of difficulty if you look at the map.
Well, yes.
Yeah, the two big game engines for indie development at the moment are Unreal and Unity for good reason.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a coffer. Pardon me? I'm going in.
Oh, there they are. Oh, what do you know? I got 564 XP for you killing him.
Oh, nice.
And Marshmallow got 606.
Indeed you did. Gimme! It is the boots! Woohoo! They're all shiny.
And heal destroying?
Totally. Now we have box number 2. And for trick number 2, I get a crown, which kind of sort of shows through my bangs. Well, I've seen worse things go through my bangs.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, live suing. This is the troublesome one. Look at where I'm pointing.
Yeah, I remember this.
Sneak, 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 sneak. Sneak, sneak. I did it! I sneaked through.
Well, they're actually fairly low level at this point, so it's not hard to avoid them now.
Rule number 1, take out the healer first. Oh look, there's someone down there doing the same quest. And back to the coffer. This time I get gauntlets. Okay, mount up. This is gonna hurt a little.
No! Ow! That hurt a lot.
Be glad I didn't hit the combat circle. I'm just waiting for a little health to recharge. And fixing my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good enough for government work. Oops, that was the wrong thing.
Him I have.
There's 2 of them, actually.
Not anymore.
Thank you for the assist. It's much appreciated.
Anything that isn't part of the actual trial.
And at last I get my breeches! Yeah. My tanking shorts!
Yeah. Shorts of tanking.
Yeah, my shorts of tanking. Wait. And now it's time to wean our way back to Ul'dah. Oh, I wish they did. And I will say with my playthrough of Nier, Theron really wishes his pod worked. It would make things so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, pod! Kill me, that man! Okay! Time to drink from the fire hose of bullets! Sorry, little distraught lass. I will be talking with you in 5 levels. The only problems with me getting red mage is I can't wear the red mage hat.
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
A red mage without the red mage pointy hat, well, at least I could wear the pince knees.
Yeah.
Hey, Jinlins, I did what you said.
Okay, so I'm back. Good. The armor is yours. You have learned your lessons well and honed your skills, and now you're ready to face Sulkazgul the traitor. Yes, the time has come. I have discovered his hiding place and made contact through emissaries. We're negotiating the return of Oathkeeper. Secrecy is crucial, as is preparation. We will leave only when you are ready.
Which will be next week, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pick that one up next week.
We'll talk to you later, Jinlins. Bye!
Yeah, that's certainly a very good break point.
Excellent breakpoint, actually. I am totally not complaining.
Mm-hmm. So, do about 1.5 per week. That'll keep us busy for the rest of the month.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, except for Pugilist. We're not worried about Pugilist until I can do it back to back, which will probably take 2 days to get through the whole thing, but
Yep.
it will totally be worth it, because the Pugilist story rocks.
And I'm approaching the end of Dragoon 41, so at some point we'll have to work out about 3 levels worth between broadcasts.
I think we can manage.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since there's this really weird gap at about 47 that we're going to have to power through somehow.
Oh. I will be very happy when we hit the end of the story, because that will solve a lot of the problems, because of course we'll gain levels while going through 2.1 through 2.5 when everything is all supposed to be level 50.
Yep. But this is a really good breakpoint. Thank you all very much for joining us. We will continue Paladin and go on to Black Mage next week on next Sunday, starting at 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you guys have a great evening. Just out of curiosity, does anyone know if Cardoin is streaming?
From earlier news, it sounded like he was going to be. Let's take a look here. I'm not
looks
seeing
like
an
he's on.
announcement.
I'll go ahead and give a raid over, and hopefully you guys will enjoy some fun cooking on his part. If he's not streaming, oh well, don't.
Okay, everyone have a great night and a good week.
Thank you very much for coming. Hope to see you next week. Hopefully, knock on wood, Tay will have their hard drive, so he'll be able to join us for Heaven on High. If not,
That
we
would be
still
good.
have our Palace of the Dead run that we can two-man through and have a little fun with that.
Mhm.
In either case, you guys have a great week, get a good night's sleep, and hope to see you next time.
Yep. Good night, everyone.